Today we'll be working on writing and solving systems of equations using the TI-Nspire. We'll be working on the reduced row echelon form. So first step is to go ahead and read your word problem and start by underlining or highlighting important information. So the important information I found was that it's asking me a question. It's asking me how many of each type were sold. So I'm looking at how many. Well, what were my types that I had? I had reserve tickets, I had field level tickets, and then I also had box seat tickets. The other things that were important is that reserve tickets were $20 each, field tickets were $50 each, and box seats were $100 each. So defining our variables, X is going to represent the number of reserved tickets. Y is going to represent the number of field level tickets. And Z is going to represent the number of box seats sold. So this one's a pretty straightforward question. We know that for every reserve ticket that was sold, it cost him $20 for every reserve ticket. Plus it cost him $50 for every field level ticket. And it cost him $100 for every box seat. Well, how much, we're talking about money there, so we're looking at, well, how much did they spend in total? We found that they actually spent $370. The next thing I found of importance was there's 10 tickets total. So if I add up all the numbers, I add up X plus Y plus Z, I get 10 tickets total. Now to find the third equation, because if I have 3 variables, I need at least 3 equations. It says you have twice as many reserve tickets as field level. Whenever it's comparing, twice as many as what? As field level. So I'm going to start with field level and say twice as many field level equals reserved. Now, the first 2 equations are actually already in standard form, but that last equation I just wrote, I'm going to have to rewrite it in standard form. Standard form means X, Y, Z equals a number, okay? So how do I move over that X? I'm going to subtract X. The 2Y is still positive. I don't have any Z's. And I subtracted X from both sides, so X minus X becomes 0. And now I'm going to go to my Nspire, and I'm going to start a new document. Do you want to save the old one? No. I'm going to create a calculator screen. So from there, a menu, matrix, and I'm doing the reduced row echelon form. Now I have to put my matrix inside of here. So I'm going to go back to menu, matrix. I'm going to create a matrix. If you mess up, just erase it. Menu, matrix, create a matrix. And I am doing a 3 by 4. Remember that your coefficients go inside your matrix. 20x, 50y, 100z, and it equals to 370. All my tickets of reserved, field level, box level, I bought 10 tickets total. And the last one's going to be -1. And make sure for this negative here, guys, that you use a negative, not a minus. -1. 2, 0, 0. Hit enter. Now we look at our matrix to see, does it have a unique solution? If it has a unique solution, we should see 1, 1, 1 diagonally. And if so, then this last column here are my answers. So the first variable that I used was reserved. So there is going to be 6 reserved, 3 field level, and 1 box seat. Again, remember, we have to look at this matrix to see if it has a solution. If it's consistent and independent, that means it has one solution, and this last column is your solution. Let's go to another question. Your friend claims that he has a bag of 41 coins containing nickels, dimes, and quarters. The total value of the coins is $6. Okay, so go ahead and finish reading that. Let's go ahead and identify our variables. X is going to be the number of nickels. And you can actually use any variable that you feel comfortable with. You can use N, D, and Q. Y is number of dimes. And Z is going to be your number of quarters. Okay, so we already know what each of those coins is worth. Now remember that when we're writing these, we're going to write these as decimal places. So a nickel is 0.05. So we know so far, there's a couple things we should highlight here. Total value of the coins is $6. What does that mean? That means every nickel is 5 cents. So 0.05 times the number of nickels plus 0.10 times the number of dimes plus 0.25 times the number of quarters is going to be equal to $6. They also said they have 41 coins total. So that means if I add up the number of coins, X plus Y plus Z, I should have 41 coins. Again, remember that I should have a third equation. So my last equation that I have, the number of dimes is equal to 1 less than 2 times the number of quarters. There's a lot going on there. When you see 1 less than, you do not put 1 minus, because what is it being compared to? And what? Then 2 times the number of quarters. So 2 times the number of quarters. 1 less than that, minus 1, is equal to the number of dimes. So my first two equations are written in standard form. The last one's not. So I need to write the last one in standard form. I'm going to go ahead and line up my Z's. How do I get rid of a positive Y? I'm going to subtract Y on both sides. I don't have any X's. Now I need to get this negative 1. I need to eliminate it from this side and add it to this side. So this side had nothing left because I already got rid of the Y. So I'm going to have a positive 1. So my 3 equations that I have are these 3. Now back to your calculator. Menu, matrix, reduced row echelon form. Menu, matrix, create a matrix. And we are working with 3 by 4s. Remember, 3 stands for the number of equations, 4 is the number of columns I want. So 0.05, 0.10, 0.25, and he had $6 total. 1, 1, 1, 41. And the last one, 0, negative 1, 2, and 1. Oh, let's look at this. I do see here that this looks like my system has a correct solution because I see the 1, 1, 1 diagonally. But this tells me that he has 2 nickels. According to what he told you, he has 2 nickels. He has 25.6 dimes and 13.33 quarters. So a couple things here. One, with realistic problems, just because you see a solution doesn't mean it's true. And so this equation actually is not true. What he told you is not correct. So is your friend correct? No. Because even though the matrix had answer, you cannot have 25.67 dimes. You cannot have 13.3 quarters. You cannot have 25.67 dimes or 13.33 quarters. So the information he actually gave you was invalid. Let's do the last one. Go ahead and pause this video and actually complete this problem on your own. Okay, these should be your equations. Okay, the first equation just came from the money. $75 times every section A, $55 for section B, and the last one is $30 for field, and they spent $870,000. The next equation I got was from this sentence right here. There are 3 times as many seats in section B as section A. Don't forget when you're comparing them that you're saying 3 times section A, because you're looking for that word as what? As section A. So section A is 3 times A. So it's 3x equals to y. And the last one was they sold 23,000 seats. So 2 of my equations are written in standard form, but one of them is not. Go ahead and convert your second equation to standard form. Okay, the next step is to do your matrix in your calculator. Please do your matrix in your calculator. Okay, as you see on my calculator, it does have a unique solution. It is consistent and independent. So what are the number of seats I have? Well, the first one is 1,500, 4,500, and 17,000 were actually on the field.